You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. Excited to share this episode with you today, but before we do, huge shout out to our sponsors. The Oklahoma Hall of Fame have been sharing Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com. And for daily updates, go to oklahomahof on Instagram and give them a follow. Our other sponsor today is the Chickasaw Nation. Now, the Chickasaw Nation have sponsored pretty much everything in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma. And it's an honor to have their name and their brand supporting this podcast. A huge shout out to Governor Anatobi for supporting this podcast. It really means a lot. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my two pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my two golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. Adding to that is the Doghouse, and so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too, but I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC, and hopefully our pups will run into each other. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. We are here at Rose Records, Taylor's on the ones and twos, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce return guest, Mr. MC. Malcolm Tubbs is in studio.
Hey, yes. Thank you for having me,
Back
man.
in the house, dude.
Yes,
I love it.
How long has it been since the last time?
Let me pull it up, because we recorded at, it's been a long time. We recorded at EOTE. I should have done this before we did the podcast, but I'm going to pull it up.
No, see, I had to put you on the spot then.
No,
I noticed
no.
this was the Fox days, right?
This was Fox days, yeah.
Yes.
It was 06/11/2019. So 11th of June. So we're almost...
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Right. But then also there's pre-COVID. Life has been different since then.
Yeah. Yeah. We went through your whole story, how you got into, working with the Thunder, and you were working at Fox for that time. Didn't even, you had to be convinced because you were working to take the interview, I think, was the story of you going to the Thunder.
Yes.
Right. Someone had to take your...
That's right. Yeah.
If I remember that right. So I'll link that below. People can go back, listen to your origin story. A lot has changed, in the last 6 years.
Wow.
You've worked for OU since then. You're no longer at Fox. And obviously the Thunder have gone through
Yeah, we
good and bad times. You've seen it all.
Right.
But dude, you must be on cloud nine at the moment, right? Finals.
I don't even know how to put it in words, man. I feel like it's been so wild. Like you said, just been a part of the organization for this is my 10th season in total. And all the highs and lows, man. All the great players that have come through and are either retired or on to other teams and still doing great. But then to have this squad, and how much they've banded around the community, how much the community has banded around this team. Yeah. It's just been exciting to cheer on these players, but then also, to be in unison with all the other fans who've been with us for 10 years, since day one, 17 years, the excitement is real. You could feel it. It's palpable.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
I said this, and it's, from someone from the UK, Europe, the atmosphere I have craved since being here is the soccer atmosphere from back home.
I've heard that.
And it is only at playoff Thunder games that it's where it's at, right? We're not popping flares in the arena yet. There's no vuvuzelas and smoke, which won't happen, but a noise level and a singing and a crowd buy-in with 18,000 fans, whether they're wearing a t-shirt or it's striped or all of these things, right?
Yes.
It is, the noise level comes, it's equal and maybe better than football back home.
There's no place like Oklahoma City as far as their fan base and how much they're bought in. Everyone wearing their t-shirts, everyone clapping in unison, everyone singing along like they wrote the song, when it comes to karaoke cam or any of the sing-alongs or any of the chants for the opposing teams. It's been wild. And a lot of it is unprompted, from our game presentation side. We try to do things to, maybe nudge the fans in the ways that we want them to cheer, but we don't have to do that in the playoffs, and even more so for Western Conference Finals. And now finals, I don't even know how they're going to act. I know it's going to be crazy, though.
It's unbelievable, right? Like,
Bruh.
and I, I've had some of the guys on the podcast that have been involved, on the outside, right? Like, and I know kind of Shabar and the team, D'Angelo and everybody that's doing the culture side of things and getting the community really to buy in.
Grassroots.
Even if they're not in the arena, there are watch parties. There's, the two ladies who are out painting, windows, murals everywhere, right? Like, it's not just, you don't just have to have a ticket or be a season ticket holder to have buy-in. The entire state has buy-in. People in the Philbrook post in Tulsa posted something about like Thunder the other day, and I'm like, okay, like Thunder is what brings the entire state together, because Tulsa and Oklahoma are doing this, but Tulsa and Oklahoma City, but you talk about the culture side and the watch parties and playoff patio last year, and we have Loud City, the on Automobile Alley, like all these things. Nick Gallo's famous, right? Like,
man,
all of these things. It's not just the players; it's everything on the outside that gets buy-in, and there is a buzz and an energy around this city like I've never felt before.
Man, and I've heard, we had this conversation when I was in the office just a few minutes ago. One of my coworkers was saying that the Pacers, not to compare, but I'll bring it up. Indiana, they're a basketball state, right? No one else cheers for basketball like Indiana. If you go to Indiana, they care about basketball. Yes, I'm not even going to disagree. Thunder, one organization though, however, in the way Oklahoma City bands around this team, they could care about basketball because there's a number of different teams in Indiana, but Oklahoma and the Thunder, we come in 100,000% with all the energy and all the money and all the support and it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's mad. So, this will go out probably obviously after game 1, maybe after game 2. We're recording the week of this Tuesday, June 3rd, and so first game is coming up. So we'll make some takes. Predictions before those. But before we dive into that, let's go back a little bit. Let's kind of just chronologically get you to today from our last episode, 6 years ago. You stopped working at Fox. When you left Fox, did you go full-time Thunder? Is that where the transition was? Or did you go to, was it News 9?
Wow, that's crazy. So after my contract expired with Fox, there was a break in my full-time employment. If anything, I was like, I'm going to take a break from everything. I feel like Thunder gives me kind of enough time to feel like I'm working and doing things, but from 4 a.m. to about midnight for 9 years, it was go, foot on the gas.
People didn't realize your schedule. You were doing the morning show at Fox, right? But you're going to a late night Thunder game.
Right. And then those games could happen at, 7:30 for the most part, but it could be an 8:30 game. Yeah. Could be a 9 o'clock game. Could be, 2:30 game, whenever it is. Just got to be ready and on it. And I loved it. I'm not going to say that busy wasn't a blessing for me, but I got to a point where I was a little older. That 21-year-old energy when I first started didn't feel the same as the, 28, 29-year-old energy. So, I was like, I feel like I'm at a place where I need to just chill and focus on who I am outside of my positions, and who I am on camera. And then really get to maybe connecting with the community. So around that time, I was volunteering for a nonprofit called Heroes in Waiting, which is anti-bullying curriculum, peace-building curriculum, helped facilitate assemblies for different schools around the state. And I feel like I was really doing like good work. I feel like it was filling my cup in ways that I didn't have the opportunity to with Fox, even though I was invested in the community to the best of my ability on camera, but I always feel like it was transactional, like, hey, I want to support you. And then, yes, you get free advertisement or, stuff on camera, but I feel like it was the give and take where I just wanted to, give freely or, help out with it out, being attached to something else. Anyway, say all that to say, worked with Heroes in Waiting for as much as I could until an opportunity presented itself to work with Thunder full time. And I'm like, well, it makes sense. So yeah. And to be even more candid, there was an opportunity that came up to work out of state. There's a new lifestyle show that opened up and I applied for, thinking maybe, if it happens, we'll see. I doubt it. They called me like within a week and were like, hey, we think you got a, good look, good style that fits our culture. They flew me out, checked out the station. I was like, this may be it. And it was between me and one other candidate. They went with the other candidate. I feel like it was because I was asking for a lot. I'm like, I'm giving up a lot, so you're going to have to pay a lot for me to give up everything that I have. But it all ended up happening exactly how it was supposed to. I wasn't supposed to leave, especially at that time. But it's crazy to see how so many things are going on. And you brought up News 9. There was an opportunity that presented itself there. But again, it just didn't work out. So I was like, all of that. And it was all happening within like a month, maybe from May to June. I was like 4 or 5 different life-changing, career-changing opportunities were on my plate. And me and my wife were praying about it. I'm asking, friends for advice and things like that. And then at the end of it, I was like, oh, we're stressing for no reason. Yeah, we're good.
Everything happens for a reason, right? And you look back now and you're like glad that you didn't take that because of where we are today, or, your wife, your baby son, right? Your little boy, and all these things that have happened. And whether it's, running in the marathon or traveling around the state, or, working the Thunder, or hosting now OU, in the SEC games, like, you look back, you think, what, all these things I would have missed maybe.
Right.
Right. But still, like, life works out in the way it needs to. And at the time, maybe you don't think it is, but you look back now and you're like, oh, I'm glad.
Man.
Finals are going to be in Oklahoma City, and I got the microphone, right?
Right. To even think that I could have missed it. Yeah. Wow. I was talking to my wife about that too. Like, when you look back on all the crazy things that happened, you're like, man, thank goodness it did. Yeah. Even though in the moment you're like, right.
Wow.
Right.
I will say one thing that I just remembered. Did you wear a green suit in your wedding?
I did.
It looked fly.
Ooh,
it was a very good look.
Thank you.
Big fan of the
my
color
wife
green. I can't
loves
pull it
green. She and we got married in the mountains, Breckenridge. So I feel like it fit the vibe.
It did look good. I just remembered that. Yeah. Great color.
Right. So yeah, got married since the last time. We're on pod.
Yeah. And she's a runner too, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is she faster than you?
It's healthy competition. Yes, I'm a runner. My brother's a runner. My wife's a runner. All of our friends are runners. I feel like we're trying to convert everybody that we know into, hey, you want to come pick up some miles with us? Yeah. Like stats wise, yes, she's faster than me. She has a faster 5K time than I do currently, and she has a faster marathon time than I do currently. So if you're going off of like most recent race, that's what we do. Then she's faster than me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying that proudly.
You said currently as well, so there's still time.
Well, I mean, again, it's healthy. It's healthy competition. So, in the running space, everyone wants to qualify for Boston.
Yeah.
If you can do that, I feel like that's the badge of honor that is like, okay, you're real deal. She'll get there before I do.
Okay.
And she's even hired a coach to help get her there. So I'm like, have fun. I love cheering you on.
Yeah.
I love cheering you on the side.
And your boy?
Yes. 2 years old. Wow. Little dude. Man, he's everyone says terrible twos. I don't want to claim it, but he's starting to come into his own attitude and energy and emotion and all that. And if it's not exactly how Miles wants it, we're going to hear about it. And he's doing all the talking, all the running. We're big library people, big park people. So, he's just taking over our lives in the best ways outside of what this career is doing for me. So, and we trying that good work-life balance, right? Trying to give him and my wife the most time and energy, and then pour anything else and extra into finals.
Right. So. Well, yeah, because what you do is energy. You need to bring that energy. You can't have an off day because you got 18,000, or whether it's 18,000 at Oklahoma City Thunder game, or if it's at OU, you've got however many thousands down there that are wanting to get hyped up. And if you come in and having a bad day, or you look like,
man,
But back to Miles. How do you settle on the name?
That's a good. I feel like we say, and I'll just say it. We say because that's how we like to share our time. Is it's like the best, our favorite thing. But then my wife likes the name, She likes, what's his name? Now I'm drawing a blank. The musician.
Miles Davis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't listen to him, but I know he's great, and I think she loves him. I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah.
We were thinking of names for months, just going back and forth. And moms were like, man, that just sticks. It feels right. Mm-hmm. It feels right, and it makes sense, right? So, yeah.
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 So you take the full-time gig at the Thunder. What was the scope of that full-time gig that you took, and then how has that evolved to now, if at all?
Yeah. So it's really just, in all honesty, I was doing Fox. I would commit to other things, and it's because Thunder was part-time.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I have to be like, I'm out of town or I can't work. These are big events that wouldn't need a host. And there are other hosts, but I feel like I've maybe immersed myself so much into the organization that me being there makes it, or I try to add my own take. I'll say that. Now being full-time, I can do all these events, right? But then also being able to, I guess, expand on my role already. So, doing a lot of media hits for local stations, doing a lot of, I guess, scripting for some of the other things that they'll have events that are kind of one-off events around Thunder, the community-related events and things like that. But collaborating with the team, I will say part-time, even though I was there for 9 years part-time, now the 1 year full-time, I'm like, oh, there's so much that goes on and so many different departments that collaborate on 1 2-hour or 3-hour, 4-hour event, that it takes so many different moving parts that my role as host, though I think it's, in front of all the people saying all the big words, is so minuscule in comparison to everyone else behind the scenes and back of house who, put the long hours and the blood, sweat, and tears and the great ideas to fruition to make, these events happen. It's been cool to be a part of the process for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and the day-to-day of going into the office, right, going to the arena, like being around all these ideas. Yeah, the rewarding part, I'm sure for you, is when you're out in the community and you're, because Thunder's so many engagement events. Thunder Cares is awesome. And the team there, whether it was Christine before she retired and now Erin, right, is kind of taken over.
Uh-huh.
Like they're doing so much, and Rumble's on the road all the time. Like there's so many things going on, so many community engagements, and to be out there and to you're on the ground, you see the reaction, you get to meet all these people. We both cameoed in the release video, which was awesome. Had a lot of fun for that. Shout out to Michael Zubak for having me in that video. He's great. Zuby.
Yes.
There's, like you said, there are so many things that go on that no one realizes, right? There's so many people, so many moving parts, so many departments, so many team players, from the organization side, not on the court, that make things happen that everyone sees.
Yeah.
That don't get thanked, that they do it because they love their job and they love basketball. There's hundreds of them,
literally, and they're so passionate and they're so driven and they're so good, and you see, I can't help but see how we stack up against other teams because I feel like that's my whole life, and it's kind of that same feel across the NBA, but then we have our pocket who just cares about Thunder basketball, and are willing to give the extra time and extra energy, and extra sacrifice, So I feel like, even though that's our side, but then basketball operations, there's a split, right? So you got game night and everything you see in the arena and around the community, around the state. Then basketball, they travel with the team. I don't know how they do it because they're gone all the time.
Is that
right?
Royce and Paris and Nick and all
the broadcast
team,
team,
the broadcast team that go with them, and everybody on that side.
Right. So to even do that is like an extra level of passion and commitment and dedication. But we're all bought in, man.
Yeah,
we're all bought in.
It's special. Before we really dive down the Thunder route, I don't want to miss out on OU and SEC and how that happens.
Oh yeah.
How does that happen? What's that like? Because you've done 2-3 seasons at OU now.
I think this is 6.
This is 6. It's been that long.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Yeah, you good. Or 5 or 6.
How does
or 7,
how does that come about? What's that like walking out, to an arena, to the stadium, which is what, like
85, 90,
like 4
something
times
like
the
that.
Capacity, almost 5 times the capacity of the Thunder Arena. How does it come about?
So it's like OU is its own huge monster it's in OU football. It's
Yeah.
like, I will say I've always been an OU fan, but I didn't know that there's levels. I was just I like OU. It's a state team. I hate to say that, but there are people who you better know your OU football, the coaches, the history, all that. So to come in in a legacy, be a part of a legacy team, has been incredible, bruh. The fans have been there since longer than I've been alive. Both of us combined, we do legacy fan of the game, and you mean to tell me you've been a season ticket member and haven't missed a game in 50 years? 50 years. Yeah. And their whole family are all bought in, multiple generations of graduates. They got tattoos to prove it, but then to help add to what I feel like I don't even need to add to has been insane. Yeah. Insane. Yes. Walking down a tunnel. Players come out of this tunnel. I come out of this tunnel, right? Walking out of the tunnel during a big timeout or before a big game, there was nothing like OU Alabama last year under the lights. My bones were shaking. Like, what did she say? Yeah, the reverberation of the unison cheer, the crowd, the music, bruh. Oh my gosh, it's nothing like that. I can't compare it to, what this is because it's different. But, man, SEC, and they travel like crazy. So you get the competition of the Tennessee, and you're like, okay, they're coming with it, but we got to come even stronger. I can't wait till next season. I know it's about to be wild. Man. And they ban around their football. It's different. It's different.
Well, and the good thing is, like, we've got a mutual friend of ours, Les, who does it, a little further north in Stillwater for the Cowboys.
Right.
And, I'm sure you guys, I think you guys have done some fun things together.
Oh, yes. He's a real good friend of mine.
But having a friend like that to bounce things off, to talk about, to, pick his brain, and, if you need things or don't need things, like, you both have an energy and a talent and a skill that is not easy to master. And, you're both great at it. And it's fun to see you, as a friend, for both of you, to see you do your things in your own different styles.
Yes.
But yeah, I can't imagine, like, OU Alabama last year. Wow.
Bruh. And I feel like we had a slew of like day games or something. And then that was a night game, and everybody's like, Alabama, like, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
I feel like historically we match up really well against Alabama. Like, we're one of the few teams who, it doesn't matter what our ranking is, we're not afraid of the elephants when they come to town. So elephants, where did I get that from?
Alabama's elephant.
Elephants, right. Okay. Yeah.
It's a strange mascot.
It is.
You wouldn't think.
I was like,
you wouldn't put
Did
it
that
with
sound
Alabama,
right? Yeah,
but yeah, it is the elephant. Yeah,
the Crimson Tide, whatever.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing like the Crimson and Cream.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was wild, bro.
Yeah.
And it's elevated. I feel like people have started to recognize me there, or even say, like, I don't see you often, but your voice sounds familiar. You sound like the guy. Like, yes, that, yeah. So yeah, try to keep the same type of, not the same, but try to keep that energy.
Yeah. How do they compare?
I will say, as far as game production goes, you have your sponsored game, right? Yeah. So OU kicking for chicken. Thunder is mid-first bank, half-court shot. So my role in that sense, I just got to remember the key points and I'm good, right? Yeah. But then trying to make it fun, it's very different when you're in a center court and people are all around you and you can see the fan right there. The camera's right there. You can't see nothing. It's a sea of, but then there's players immediately around you. There's a whole game going on, or, in the timeout of the game. And it's just so far stretched out. So it's like, if I got to get to this corner for some timeout or up in those stands, I better move quick because I got to go around, the field or up in the stands or whatever.
You have a golf cart driver?
Not like Les does. But,
Les, he has his gator.
Right, yeah. Oh my God, it's tricked out OSU. Yeah, I'm not going to bring it up, but it would help. I will say this. I would ride my bike from where I parked to the stadium or just around the campus, if I wanted to get around, hop around at tailgates and things like that. Son of a gun stole my bike on the last game.
Someone stole your bike?
Someone stole my bike. So if this is a thing in Norman, apparently they'd be bike stealing in Norman. I didn't know. I walked out like, I'm talking to my wife like, I'll see you in a bit, I know I parked it here. Wait a minute, I go around to the other entrance. No, I know I parked it here. Go back. I asked the security guard. He's like, it happens, man. Did you have it locked up? Yes, I had it locked up. It happens, man.
Was it just normal? It wasn't like tricked out with OU or anything.
No.
It was just your bike, your personal bike.
Very normal. It's not it was like I think I got it for $100 on Amazon or something, real quick. But yeah, so now that I think about it, I got to get a new bike because that walk from the parking lot to it would help if I had a golf cart.
Any cycle companies watching want to sponsor
Come on,
your
for
bike?
real. Hey, seriously, right?
Find
The
one of those.
one wheels, one wheel, my way through.
Zipping around in one of those.
Right.
Oh,
Sheesh.
wow.
Man, but yeah, it's I think of it as 6 games, 6 home games. I had the opportunity to work an event at OU Texas for the past few years.
Like down there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
like
wow.
in Dallas. So it's at the Omni.
Yeah.
It's through the Alumni Association.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they have a big watch, pregame, pep rally, help out with that. And if we do get tickets, we'll maybe go to the game.
Yeah.
The fare is so much, though, in Texas.
Chaos.
Right.
Especially with a 2-year-old.
Oh, man, yeah, for real. But all that
Although
to say,
you just did Disney, so
I
that's
know
a little
that
different.
was okay. Maybe because we did Disney, we can
You
wait
can do
another
Texas,
year to
yeah.
do something again. But yeah, it's like 6 weekends. Just give it my all, and it's gonna be the whole day. Because of
what does
traffic.
that day look like?
Oh man, it's like whatever tip off is, I'll try to get there an hour and a half before.
Okay.
Or kickoff, sorry, an hour and a half before. But then if I'm trying to get there an hour and a half before, I got to leave an hour and a half before that just to make sure that I can get there on time, even though I live maybe on paper 27 miles away from the stadium. It's going to take me at least an hour and a half to not even get there, but park to the stadium, if that's a walk or maybe a walk now since it's not a bike ride, right? And then, she should just devote the whole day to it. It's going to be twice as long getting back because of traffic out of it. So I take all that into consideration, and I'm like, I kiss my wife, and my son, I'll see you tonight. Sheesh. But it's only 6 weekends. Hey, it's only, yeah.
Are you allowed to work any NIL deals through that?
Oh gosh, I wish.
No?
No.
Not at all?
I don't even know what that conversation is, but do you have any ideas to put
I
extra
got
money in
plenty
my
ideas.
pocket? Let's
Heck,
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
You need a bike. You need a truck to get down there.
Come on, man.
on, we
for
can get
real.
this
I
thing
need some
going.
gas cards. No,
Yeah.
I will say this. I think less negotiated gas cards, which I'm like, I'm going to add that to the list. I'm going to add that to the list.
Toby
for sure.
Rowland had a truck, right? I think, maybe.
You know more than I do.
Maybe
they
not
need
a
to hook
truck,
it up.
but I know that when he travels, there's a
Oh, yes.
there's a
Yeah.
company car or whatever,
Yes.
right? I mean, obviously they're on the road a lot, but
Yeah.
he also travels with like Joe Castiglione and the whole crowd, I think. But still, like there's got to be some. We got to work on something here.
There's a budget that they can
there's
open up
definitely
somewhere
something.
for sure.
Okay, 6 games, 6. A lot of energy.
Oh yeah.
But then also the opportunity to do hosting watch parties for special games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
6th year. Wow.
It's been wild.
Is there a noticeable difference from Big 12 to SEC?
I'd say so. The energy, the buzz around this is SEC football. This is something that I feel like what I've heard from fans around is we're better suited for SEC. However, just for whatever reason, this season we weren't. But as an organization, this is where we should be. So giving it time to stack up and even out, and then we'll be back to the dynasty that we know OU is. Even though, I mean, I feel like it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I feel like we won the games. We surprised some people, and then we lost some games where we probably should have won. But the highs and lows of sports, man, I feel like that's what makes it fun.
Is it hard for you, and Les said this, that he had to really subconsciously kind of work on it early on when he started. Is it hard for you to separate yourself as a fan to an announcer?
I'm going to be real. I have never been a sports guy like that.
Okay. Which helps.
Yeah, for real. So me being able to do my job, regardless of the score, has always been a thing that I could do. Now, being invested in these teams, now I'm a sports guy. And it's not even just like Thunder basketball. I'm worried about how other teams are doing to see how they stack up against us. Find myself sitting, watching the games where a few years ago I would not have cared at all.
Yeah.
But then it's like basketball. Now it's, college football. And it's like, because I love OU, I'm invested in OU women's softball. And I have friends who are connected to gymnastics. And it's like being close to those teams. Yeah. it's
brings you in.
Yeah, it really does. It sucks you in, and it's exciting not only to watch but to be a part of. And you feel like you're a part of it when you're part of these organizations. Maybe in my capacity, I'm like, if they win, I win.
Yeah, you take ownership, right? You take ownership in the brand as a whole, the university as a whole, not just the football team.
Right.
You got, the baseball team's doing great, golf's, all the teams are doing incredible things in their own way, and obviously softball's like just it's a different beast, isn't it? Right? Like,
bruh.
Unfortunately, they're not the final this year, but still, like
we're not gonna bring it up.
They're an institution, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
Finally, Patty got her statue. It's long overdue.
True.
In that whole place, but yeah, that's a really cool thing to have that. And even though it's only 6 weekends, like it's a lot more than that.
Oh yeah.
To be a part of it.
And you think the season like comes and goes really fast.
Yeah.
But there's so much that happens in those, 3-4 months that. Yeah, it's like it's wild trying to keep up with all of the changes and who they're playing and how they stack up and game days and away games and where they rank and all that. It's fun. It kind of breaks up the monotony too of Thunder basketball. So gives me something else to key in on for a few.
Because how many regular season games are there for Thunder?
41.
Yeah.
42, 41
home games. Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah, and some are back to back, right, or every other day, or whatever. You're like,
right.
You're in all the time. I'm sure there's.
But if we go all the way, say it makes it to a game 7, that'll be June 22nd, right? And then you got July off, you got August off, you got September off, but the end of October, you're back at it.
Yeah.
Full, and if anything, beginning of October, because we're doing events to gear up for, the preseason games and that first home game. So it seems like that window. You're like, man, it is a season, but it take up a lot of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your game day process then for a Thunder? What's that look like?
So it was different when I was part-time. Now I'll be in office a few hours before our first big meeting with everybody. We'll have like a team lunch and then really kind of hit the ground preparing for those game night, activities and festivities and everything that's happening. Now during the playoffs, it's like get there even earlier, right? Then we have the team lunch. There's Thunder Up in the Park activations. There's a lot of pregame activations.
Which is incredible.
Oh, bro. It's been a party. And I can't say it, but they're for finals. They're going to up the ante. They are, right?
Of course they are, yeah.
It's been exciting to be on, just helping. If anything, I know what my role is when the game starts, but before then, like I said, everybody else is doing so many things. I'm like, yo, let me carry those boxes here. Let me help you, bring this here. We got, so all that other stuff. And then, just trying to, for a second, before I give all that energy, get to myself, find where I can be at peace with, going over what I'm going to say or mentally kind of read that script. Read, the game log is what we call it, the blueprint of what game night presentation is going to look like. All of that. Try to familiarize myself with that as best as possible. And then also think of ways to, I feel like I started this Fox days, but what's the base of what I'm doing? And then how can I add my own personal flair to whatever that is? So kind of brainstorm on my own and then take that to bosses if it needs approval or anything on how we can amplify on what's already been, thought of as ways to make it better. So have fun with that creative process. But I try not to do anything different. And I'm trying to tell myself that now because everyone's like, yo, the new this, the new that, it's different, but it's not supposed to be. I feel like we've done what we're supposed to do all season long, right? And if I go into it thinking I have to be anything more, then I'm probably gonna it's gonna blow up
you've
in
done
my face.
this, you could do this in your sleep. You need to keep doing it, right? Because you've done it so many times now, and like I said, 10th season, this is I'm sure. I mean, for your own job, it comes with its own pressures. It's like it's the NBA Finals, right? Like,
bruh.
But and also to add into that, you got everyone else telling you that too.
Oh,
so it's just like, block it out.
Oh, yeah.
Stick to what I know what I'm doing. This is my plan. This is the game log. This is what I've done for every single game.
Yes.
Right. And, have you gone through, do you know exactly how much time you have total in a game to do your thing? Because your segments are small and concise. Have you ever added that up total?
Ooh, that's good. No, I haven't. You just brought up a new challenge.
It'd be interesting to see what that time is, whether it's like 8.5 minutes total over a game, or whatever it is, and to be like, you focus and you train, and everybody's industry, has obviously they spend so much more time training and practicing and getting in the mindset for that time, right? Whether it's
34 minutes a night, right,
golf,
or
whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Just to have that, I'd be like, I just got to give everything I have for 8 minutes or whatever it is.
Yes.
Even though it's broken up to 30 seconds, and it'd be interesting to find that number.
Former coworker of mine, she was the anchor at Fox. She said a mentor of hers told her that stuck with me, and I feel like I'll keep this and I'll try to share it, even though it's not that major. What we do in this media industry is very short amount of time, bites, a lot of sound bites and things like that. Even though I might not be saying anything compelling now, when I am on camera or when I am in front of a crowd, I try to think of ways to be, I guess in my word, memorable, stand out, compelling, give you something to make you think, okay, that was good, right? Maybe you don't hit like that every time, but I know for this 1.5 minutes, minute and a half, if I can give my all for this minute and a half, I could be holding back vomit, right? I could be, about to faint, it could be everything else that going on in the world. If I could shut it out, focus on being concise, creative, and compelling for this minute and a half, I've done good.
Yeah.
And then I keep doing that. So in the same way that I think of stacking up 1 mile at a time, if I could just focus on this 1 mile, I don't even care about the 26.2. I just want this 1 mile. If I could just focus on the minute and a half, I should be good.
Yeah.
Should be all right.
What is your first engagement with the fans to start a day with the game?
Ooh, I feel like it was different regular season than it is now.
Okay.
My first now is pregame hype to it's either crowd karaoke, where we started pregame, where the whole crowd comes together, sing some type of classic, or MC1 Spotlight, where I highlight, MC1, or Thunder Drummers. We try to do something to pull the crowd in. Like they're around the concourse grabbing food, and they're like, wait a minute, there's action happening in the bowl. Let me get to my seats real quick, put this shirt on so I can get in the action. So something like that to that effect.
Okay.
Or a lot of times, if I've eaten dinner quickly enough, I can get out and get ready on the mic, and then you better put that shirt on, right?
Right. Yeah. Because you're calling out people on the big screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. One of the ESPN analysts was like, "Was that the announcer provoking the fans to put shirts on?" Listen, I don't have to provoke them.
No.
A lot of times there's no pressure. They know what to do.
There's an unwritten rule here that you wear your shirt.
Yeah, they know. But then I've noticed, and I know this happens. Yeah. People will wait. They'll eat their food. Me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put the shirt. You wanted to be on camera. You were going to put the shirt on anyway.
Right.
It's funny. Yeah. So all that, it's been a blast. It's been wild.
Do you have a pregame meal ritual or anything you do specifically before the game that you keep consistent?
I'd say it was a post-game ritual for a few years. And then I was like, I can't have a Big Mac after every game to celebrate a win. That's not going to...
Big Macs a year.
Right. Especially this season. I couldn't... There's too many wins, right?
Too many wins.
Pre-game, we have a pre-game like dinner, where I'll try to either, if I need to, connect with my team to go over everything that we, just to triple, double check, triple, quadruple check, whatever. And then... if I do need to, I'll check in with them. If not, then I'm just by myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not awkward for me to be silent in a corner, just kind of chill for a second, because, I am going to be yelling at thousands of fans. And I feel like here recently, maybe I've been yelling harder, or the crowd has gotten louder to where I have to project harder. Where I'm at the end of the game, if anything, by fourth quarter, my voice is like, all right, fans, okay, it's time to get loud.
Yeah.
And I'm trying. But... I wish I had, or I feel like maybe I've gotten to the point, because I was explaining this to a coworker too. I've gotten to a point where I don't have the time to have the pregame ritual that I used to, especially now being full-time. I'm at my desk, when before I could be at home and then do everything, do a few push-ups, or if I had the time, I'd go for a 1 or 2 mile run, just kind of flush the system and get prepared. That is big though. I have to exercise before game day. I'll say that.
Okay.
So it's not in arena, but whether it's a run or a lift, that's going to get me going. If not, I will feel thrown off. And maybe that's my own weird thing, but I feel like I'm best
get
when
rid of that kind of pregame anxiety ritual, whatever it is. Just like I gotta
maybe that's what it is. Maybe I don't have that ritual,
all this
because
attention.
if I can get that exercise, it releases all the anxiety, it gets me moving, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, good to know. So if you
Yeah.
see Malcolm running like 2 hours before the game,
Right.
you
You're
know
like, why? He should be. Yeah, no, this is all a part of it. It's all a part of it. Yeah.
That's awesome. How big's the team that you meet with every, like, for the excluding now, like the entertainment side, like of obviously all the dancers and the Thunder
right.
drummers and
Yeah.
everything, but how big is like your, like,
It's like, so it's me and my supervisor, Candace.
Yeah.
And our director, Jason. He oversees all of our department, which is live production and game day experience.
Okay.
So in that title, you get everything you have, right?
everyone you need, yeah.
Everything that's live and everything that's game day. We have Christian, who is the dance captain, dance coordinator, choreographer, captain. She has a assistant who's the coordinator for all the dance teams and entertainers. Adia Muda, who is the game night manager, director for the Blue, but then he also runs concourse activations and Thunder Up in the Park now. His coordinator is Malcolm Fermetta, and the person who really gels us all together is Megan, who oversees like everything else. I don't know what her title is. And then we have our mascot and mascot handler. So that's two.
Do you see Rumble's face? Do you know who he is?
Of course.
She is.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. So since you said he or she, they work in our office.
They, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's,
Who knows?
right. It's 8 of us.
Okay.
8 of us.
That's a pretty
Yeah,
good
so-
operation. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Christian, since she oversees the dance teams and
Yeah.
drummers as well, that's like 80 people
Right.
under her.
And I love that you brought in all these local DJs too, right? Like
Right.
kind of the organization brought in DJs at every entrance to do
Yes.
their thing.
Yes.
You know, there's a
Light
great,
Bright, Yuchi Boy, DJ Tangerine, Corey Waves,
yeah.
JoJo McNeil.
Okay.
I don't know his DJ name. I feel bad saying that. If you're watching this, my bad.
Yeah.
DJ
Keaton's in
Kilo.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? There
MC
was
One.
Limitless. DJ Limitless.
Okay.
I think he was a featured DJ. And then, of course, the official Thunder DJ, MC1.
MC1,
He don't
yeah.
have to be brought in. He already in,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
I would say Light Bright is the official DJ for the Blue.
Yeah.
And then he'll sub in. He also does a lot of sound for us as well on game nights. And he lives in Quona, Texas. So it's
Isn't
like
that crazy?
right. He'll make the drive. And he's bought into it. It just shows people willing to do that.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I feel like it's added an extra level of kind of,
Yeah.
that different vibe. I don't know what this means, but it
the
adds
energy
that.
starts outside, right? Like you said, this game day activation in the park, right?
Yes.
And it starts outside. You can hear you've got the containers, you've got the huge banner on the side of the Omni, like all these things.
Yes.
You know, you're in the mood before you even step in the building. And then once you step in the building, you go through that entrance and you got the DJs right there. Like it doesn't stop until the game ends, right? Like so
It's a
you're
party
ready to go.
as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah, which is amazing. Do you have this might be hard, but do you have a favorite like part of the game segment that you do? Whether it's half court shot, whether it's, teacher of the game, with all the things that you guys do. Is there one that you just like, I just love this?
I mean, you can't go wrong with Mid First Bank because it's just like it could happen. It could happen.
It's happened a lot.
It has, right? But then immediately after that, Rumble tries to shoot the half court shot backwards. I'm always there, and now I'm like, I'll pull my phone out to try to catch that, that shot right there on the court. I love that. But then there's the Rumble drum is what we call it, the roll, right? I'm going to try to think of the most captivating, the most. Oh yeah, I feel it. Words. I don't even know what that is. I want the feeling.
It's the
of
Viking clap, right? Towards the end, right? Everyone's
But there's 10 seconds that I have to, and it's almost like I haven't been able to. I've had the words. I just know they haven't hit because I can't get over the crowd cheer. Like it's all there, but they don't hear it because they don't feel it because they don't need to because the energy is there. But I feel like in that moment or fourth quarter hype where in the moment. Whatever I'm going to say, I'm going to say. But I always try to think ahead to finding the words to really get, we got 12 more minutes.
Yeah.
We got 12 more minutes. It's up to you, fans. How are you going to decide, or what are you going to do to decide, or your decibels make a difference, whatever it is.
Yeah, you're giving them ownership and making them, because they make a huge difference, right? The players have said it,
right?
The sound that they make, it's a huge difference, and it, especially when you hear it from, the analysts that are traveling all over, been to every arena, and you hear that, you hear it just in general, but it is noticeable difference in that fourth quarter, because it's like, okay, like, you got the game hype, right? Like, it's a different energy. We're like, we need to make some noise to get this team over the line, or this is blown out. Let's just,
So depending, I
shake
have
the
words,
keys and get them out of here, kind of thing.
For real, like I'll have the words thinking in my mind what I'm going to say in those moments, but it doesn't make sense to say something that's going to provoke them when we're up by 30 or 40. Yes, I still want them to cheer the same, but you've been doing great so far, right? So it's like, maybe I say something to hit, right? Keep it up, right? Yeah. Or if it's a tight game, we're down by 5 going into the fourth. Now those words need to be tweaked a little bit to provoke. You didn't come here to stay quiet, right? You didn't pay all this money and drive all this way, loud city. Whatever it is, I'll try to tweak it in the moment. And I feel like those I get excited about for sure. Oh yeah. If I need to.
Tell me about the game day fits. How do you choose? How does that happen? You got some sick sneakers on today. We need to talk about those.
Yeah, we want to show those
on
all.
the camera.
Right, okay, right.
Really,
say hi,
you're up here. Your camera's
come on,
right here.
Yes. Fire.
You got 'em.
So I should be a
That's
fashionista.
your camera right there as well, by the way, if you want to show them that.
405 on the front with the microphone. Season ticket member a few games ago was like, yo, man, you be coming with some heat. What size shoe you wear? I was like, yeah. Then I told him what size shoe. Y'all don't need to know. But a lot of times I don't even tell people my shoe size because I'm like, it's my size. Right? Or you trying to swagger jack? What's up? Anyway, I don't gatekeep.
Yeah.
I told him. And I thought, okay, whatever. Hit me up, emailed me, called me. He was like, hey, I got these shoes for you, man. I want you to have them. I was so blown away. This is so dope. So
incredible. When
it comes to fashion and game day fits, again, we're all talking finals and we're all talking what are we going to do different. Again, me thinking I'm just going to keep the same type of energy. I used to put in so much money and so much time into every shoe that I wear, the fit that it was all complete and everything. But a lot of times I don't even know what shirt I'm going to wear until I get to the game, especially now during playoffs. It could be blue, it could be white, it could be, So, I try to make sure my shoes aren't busted, but at the same time, they could remember my fits if I made it a big deal. They could if I wanted to, but it's the feeling that I'd much rather them remember me for or try to, express now. If it were up to me and I had the money, I would probably go crazy. I will say, again, with you saying, sponsorships or things like that, there are a lot of local brands. There are a lot of like people who know fashion.
Yeah.
That industry is booming. And I did not know until this past year that there are a lot of local boutiques, small shops that or just designers who know how to curate fits that if I were to go back just a few weeks ago and do it all over again, I would have collaborated with some of these people for game day fits. Again, we just got back from Disney. We're in the playoffs. I don't know what every day is going to be different.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll make a plan. We tried to have this podcast for weeks,
right?
And it's just like, so I'm like, I don't want to add too much on my plate and try to do something that.
Yeah, I think we tried to start this before playoffs, and now we're in the finals. It's great. Let's keep this going.
Right.
Yeah.
So, to which playoffs started in April.
Yeah.
Bruh. April. Wow. So, I feel like if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure it's done the right way, and I don't want to rush anything that. Everything else has been a rush, so I'm like, I control what I can control, and we'll get there though.
Yeah.
Get there.
What was the Western Conference Finals game like, as far as just kind of after that win and confetti and trophy ceremony and like we haven't experienced that. You haven't experienced that yet, right? We haven't won.
No. Personally,
somebody fact check me. That was our first one since Westbrook days, right?
So Finals 2012, Western Conference Finals 2016. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 2016. Man.
Because you don't have a script for that, right?
That's right. Right.
Like it's new territory.
I'll say, from my personal standpoint, we had Game 7 win at home against Denver, right? In that series, we match up really well.
Yeah.
Oh, snap, we had a really horrible game. We don't know what's going to happen. Game 7, it was like, this could be... So the air is like, this could be the last time I see you until next season.
Yeah.
Right? And we've gone through seasons like that where we lost away last season against Dallas. And it was like, dang, no one said goodbye because we didn't know we were going to, so it was like, all right, Game 7, we won. Ooh, all right, now we Western Conference Finals. So, okay. Game 5 win. They do the trophy, MVP. You like, oh, snap. Finals. Okay, it's really here. I went back from the court back to the offices before we left. And then everyone's like, all right, let's gear up for it. Who knows what's going to happen next? We're going to keep the momentum. We're going to expand on what we're already doing. But again, it's like, keep doing what you're doing. Just, it don't even have to be. I missed out when I was away. I missed out on a meeting that Sam Presti put on for the whole team. But just getting cliff notes from the squad, they were saying that he asked for 2% better. And that's cool. Everything that we've been doing has been great. If we can give a little 2% better, that's what he's asking of the players. That's what he's asking of the entire organization. That I can do, absolutely. But it's like, come Thursday, man, I feel like we're going to find out and then be like, okay, this is what we're into. Now we know how to. We know. But how can you prepare?
You can't.
Right?
It's unknown territory for a lot of people. Right?
Really?
Like,
really?
The organization, I mean, there's so many new faces and, we have a lot of mutual friends who are in the organization or working closely with it, whether it's entertainment, guys on the sales team, it's hard to put into words the energy because they don't have the words either, right? Everyone's kind of just like a little tense, but it's excitement tense. It's not like nervous tense. It's like, this is happening.
Yes.
We already know it's happening. Like,
right.
It's just like, it can't wait. It's like Christmas Day. It's like you're awake on Christmas Eve and you're just like,
anytime
can't fall asleep yet.
Like you think you're about to relax and you think, oh snap, no, tomorrow we have, right? Just t-shirting, right?
Yeah. It's
like, or the media hits that everyone wants to talk about.
National media
the
now.
National media hits. I feel like I'd mess it up if I tried to name drop, but just got back from a meeting and the list of people that are coming in who need credentials, who need court access, who you'll be like, oh, we can't say no to who are going to be there. People, and they're like, if you're full time, you better make sure you go straight into where you're supposed to be because you're going to be in the way of everyone else. And please don't be in their way. Because they come in and they own everything.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that like we are given the opportunity. We've been given the opportunity or have earned the opportunity to welcome everybody to Oklahoma City. Yeah. Right? Whether that's
a very good.
As soon as they get off the plane, they're in Oklahoma City and they are gonna, without even knowing it, they're gonna judge, they're gonna see things, and it doesn't matter if anybody's attached to the organization. If they get a bad Uber ride or somebody picks them up late or whatever it is, like, all these things about Oklahoma City, that's when it comes down to everybody as a whole, not just operations and the team.
Right.
Like that's when you get in the arena maybe, but like you get all these people on the outside where they go into places for breakfast, right? And you're recommending go this place for breakfast or grab a coffee here. Like there's so much more that is on the shoulders of the city versus just like, that's when I think it comes down to how good a job that the Thunder have done as a community engagement to have everybody buy in versus just, oh, we're just a team that's in town. No, this is like the state's team and the state takes full ownership of that.
I feel like I can't wait for Mayor Holt's post about the stats,
right?
Like the revenue stats. He's going to come with something after it's all said and done. And I'd imagine it's going to be wild, those numbers. What it's done for our restaurant industry, what it's done for the hotel industry, what it's done for all of the people who are eating because the Thunder has done so well.
But at least, I mean, I had a conversation with a friend of ours that has some kind of those big connections in like national media, and he's like, they've already all booked their hotel rooms before even playoffs began. They booked where they think they're going, and they were in the Omni, or they're booking their everything's booked up. They know they're going to be here, kind of thing, or preparing to be here.
Thank goodness.
And it's crazy to think that too, right? It's crazy to think that national media like Shaq or whoever's coming, like, but not to mention them, but like okay, the Knicks aren't going to be in it, and it would have been cool to have Ben Stiller and Spike Lee here and all
Right.
those things. But I saw the Pat McAfee clip from Pacers game, right? Where they cut it short. So I saw his clip on his radio show, and he explained the whole thing. He's like, they cut me short, which I won't say what he actually said on the.
Please don't.
Because but it was funny. He's like, I was given 45 seconds before, like your equivalent of the guy who does your job in Indiana. Paynes went up to him and was like, you got 45 seconds. You're going live. Hype this crowd up. And so he's like, it's a great clip, but he's like, I'm going to send these, SOBs home, and they cut it at that. But what he actually said is, we need to send these SOBs home with their ears ringing.
Yes.
He took a pause, and that's where they cut it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I saw that.
And so, but you're having, he might come here, right? And it would be really
no way.
I would love for you to have the total freedom that you want
There's
from the
no
organization.
way.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
going to
let you know
happen.
now.
But it would be interesting to that you would reach. Not
Bruh.
that there's anybody on our. Maybe there's a few people that sit courtside that would want to do that and take that up. Whoever. But I'm just thinking of all the things that
I feel like there's people who you
might
can't say
happen.
no to.
There
And I don't
definitely.
know. I don't know Pat's proximity to pay. Is he from Indiana or something?
I
Is that
think
the big
so,
deal?
yeah,
So, if you could name drop.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring him
No.
up, but you could name drop. And what are we gonna say? Yeah, you want the mic? Absolutely. Say whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to cost me my job. But
Yes.
say whatever.
Right. Now, it's not coming from me. I didn't get you the microphone. I was told,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like there are people who could come in and do that, and maybe capitalizing on those opportunities when they come up would be cool. But that was like WWE
Oh yeah.
in the NBA.
Yeah.
Which, is not
No.
our brand at all.
I like what you said earlier. Like it just needs to stay the same, right? It needs to stay the same. We're doing what we're doing. We keep doing what we're doing. It's not just another game, but you need to treat it like it's another game. Yourself needs to treat it, the teams. It's to get across that line. You talk to every great team that's won a championship in any sport. It's just the process and sticking to that process. And Thunder are great at defense and great at what they do. And it's the moment it gets outside of that and they start thinking further ahead that they lose sight of exactly like, oh no, we've got to do this play. Like it's right in front of us. Focus on what's in front of you. You've done all, and so, but that goes for everybody.
Right. And I feel like it's cool to, if I'm saying this the right way, see it play out. Cause I've seen it from teams that we've had in the past where, maybe the style is a little different when the pressure's on, but you see how they react afterwards. And it's like for this team, they've been in situations where the pressure's been on, and for whatever reason, you think they've done good or bad, but who knows what they're going through internally. But they still come back the next night and perform like the pros in the best of the league, like they do. It's cool.
Do you have a favorite place in the arena that you like to stand, take in the energy, do an engagement, whatever it is? Is there a favorite view that you like?
There's our vom. There's our vomitory, which is like right behind one of the goals. So if you've been to a game, you see it's like right there in the middle. And they switched the kind of arena up a few seasons ago to have that there. But my favorite spot, we used to have a green room. It's like when I first started. Now we don't have it anymore because we've just outgrown the arena. So many things are happening. Then there's like an entertainment little corner where the entertainers are there, but it's like their little space. And it's like, they got luggage and stuff. They're changing clothes. So it's kind of their space. Not to say that this is all I'm left with, but I like having a spot where I could be away from things, just to either go over the script, make sure I'm, before I get out there. I will go behind the curtain underneath the bleachers, and it's dark, right? Some video or audio guys will sit back there as well. But it's like, it's my own little cocoon, little area. I can hear everything because I'm right above people. Sometimes people drop their popcorn or nuts or something, and I got to dodge it. But that's if I want to get away. But if I want to see and be in the action, I got to be up in Loud City. Got to be up there. That's where the real fun is. In my opinion, you have the Loud City crowd, or not Loud City, but courtside crowd, and they're their own fans. You got the club level crowd. It's usually corporate people up there. But in Loud City, those are the fans who, a lot of times it's their first game. They're coming in from out of state. They're coming in from out of country. And you just being up there mingling, like you'll see a sign, I came from Shanghai. You came from Shanghai the first time you've ever been in America. I met a guy, what's his name? and I'm drawing a blank. He came to a watch party last round, and then I saw him the next home game, Game 5, and he's from Australia. Huge Thunder fan. Became a fan because of Steven Adams. Been a fan ever since. He's in finance. He was like, I came here by myself. I don't know nothing in Oklahoma. I talked to him at the watch party. I was like, oh, this is a really cool dude. Saw him at the game. I was like, you were invested. He was like, yeah, I spent a lot. And he came by himself, and he was just all in. So I wouldn't have met him if it weren't for, the watch party. But then he was up in Loud City. I'm like, yo, that's awesome. Bruh, it's too much.
It's funny you say that. I have a teammate of mine from college golf who texted me a month ago, and he was here. His senior year was that 2012, 2013 season. Ooh. And he's like, me and my dad are coming back from school. We're flying over from Scotland. If you have any connections for Game 5 tickets, I want Game 5 tickets. I don't care where they are, how much they cost. Like, yes. I'm flying over from Scotland. Bruh. And so he's going to be here in, a couple of weeks.
Oh, Game 5 of the finals?
Game 5 of the finals.
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, good luck for that
Good luck
one.
on them tickets.
I was like,
right.
I keep sending him like screenshots of tickets. I'm like, you want these? You want these? Just like trying to broker a deal with some friends of mine. But he's going to be here. It doesn't matter if he gets tickets or not. Like, he is going to be here.
You hinted towards it. He would probably not, feel as well if he didn't get in arena. Yeah. But he would still feel good.
Yes, he would.
Being anywhere in the city when the pulse is happening. Any watch party area is going to feel like it's in game. And, we have those Loud City lives now too. So if he's in town early enough to see, Game 4 when it's away.
I think he is. I think that's when he gets, like, he's going to be here for, he must be. He's going to be here for a week or whatever. That would be a cool experience. It's so much bigger than we think it is. Even though it's a big thing, there's so many ripples, right? Like you mentioned, the city, the restaurants, the food, whatever it is, and then people flying in from out of, like, there's so many things that are affected by just a few players on a basketball team getting to the finals, right? When you think about it.
Yeah.
And they're coming to our city, which has always been kind of an underdog. The state has been an underdog, flyover country, and now the world is looking at Oklahoma City because the NBA finals are on. Man,
when you hear the world is watching, I feel like it's a big term. But then you're like, man, about time.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think it was whatever the games where one of the ESPN or the TV cars just flew a drone under the bridge in Scissortail. That clip, just like
I feel like it went viral
that's
here.
That's my city, right? Like, this is where I live.
And you see Minnesota, you're like, all right, for their games. So,
yeah,
right.
No, dude, it's awesome. Finishing up, anything that you wanna you wanna make a prediction? You're excited for? Do we have any? Anything that pops up to mind?
I feel like from an employee standpoint, the best thing I could say to any fan is show up early. Show up early to everything.
Yeah.
Anything you could think of. Watch party, home game, Thunder up in the park. Just the anticipation of people coming in from different parts of the world and needing that extra parking space. They bought up all the rooms, like you said, months ago. If you think you're going to be a part of the action, you better get there earlier than you expect. So if it started at this time, plan to be there an hour before, and then plan that travel time to park to be there an hour before, because we don't know what congestion is going to look like. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
And then as a fan standpoint, man, I'm just excited. I feel like I'm grateful to be a part of the process, or part of the organization, a part of the process of, bringing basketball games to life. It's like our role is, once they come in, how are they feeling? Players, of course, they're coming for them. But to be a part of it, it's like, man, I don't even know. I'm trying to find the words again. I'm maybe do some journaling tonight and really come up with a like a monologue of how I'm feeling. But yeah,
try to document this moment.
Right. I'm excited. And then, we're taking it one game at a time.
One game at a time.
Yeah.
You got obviously a little son at home. Miles is going to be, he's not going to remember it maybe, but that's the cool thing about documenting this is that, and like, this team is young and extremely good. And thanks to Sam Presti, we've got a lot of draft picks coming. So there's an exciting future regardless of what happens in the next 2 weeks. But I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for you to have this opportunity being there. Man. You deserve it. The whole team deserves it. The whole background staff deserve it. Man, it's going to be awesome. finishing up, one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Puts you in my real estate world.
Okay.
If you were to build your dream home, what is your dream home as of today? If you were to build it, no budget.
Dream home.
Yeah.
My wife is so obsessed with HGTV and Dream Home and anything reconstruction, redo, reno type shows. Yeah. We've had this conversation, I feel like, every other week and every other day, just because we like to vision and plan the future. I'm going to say, give me like 3 acres, right? Somewhere close, but not too far. Or close, but not too close. Far enough, but you know, we out of the way of everything. I want I don't know, square footage. It's got to be comfortable, but not too much space, because I feel like, why am I walking a mile to get to the bathroom in the morning? But I'd say 4 bedrooms. I'm going to say 2 layers. I'm going to say, or 2 levels. It could be upstairs, downstairs, or it could be 1 floor in a basement, with a comfortable living area. I say 3 acres because I would love extra living spaces for either in-law type of home or suite type of situation. Working space, which is like kind of a creative space where either my or my wife's creative, you know, endeavors can come to life, and we don't have to worry about having a corner in our house to do that. A workout area, and another home or camper to where we can take that and then travel with it. So I wish I could build it out, the blueprint, and paint that picture for you. But I know what the space looks like. I don't know what the inside. It's like, I'm the true believer in, I can build you a home, or I can build you a house, and I'll leave it up to my wife and the family to make it a home. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll start there. Let me get a good foundation.
It's a great way to start. Right. Last thing we'll do is this will be you directly talking to the Thunder fan and people listening. This camera on your right, far camera.
Oh yeah, I got you.
What we got? Finish it up. Sign us off here.
Talking to the fan.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say this, Oklahoma City, I know you're ready. All right. Like we said, don't do anything different than you've already been doing. Loud City is on the world stage, and about time the rest of the world recognizes how we come on game day. It's going to be crazy. I know. It's going to be loud. So maybe bring the ear covers if you need. Show up early, because we can't do it without you. The shirts, the fan bammers, it's all a part of the process. You should not have a voice once you leave the game. You don't worry about how other people may perceive how wild you are as a fan, because crazy is expected when you walk into the Paycom Center. It's a party as soon as you walk in. Expect a good time. That's if you have tickets. Now, we understand you might not be the lucky 20,000 who get your hands on tickets, and that's okay. Wherever you're rooting, wherever you're rocking, do what you do. Just do what you do. Loud City, do what you do. We show up. We show out like no one else. I can't even think of a team where you compare it to, unless you're going around the world like European soccer. Okay. But we know it's going to be a good time. And I say Thunder in 5. I say Thunder in 5. It's not even going to go all the way to 7. I say Thunder in 5, and we'll see what happens after.
Let's finish there. Michael Tubbs, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next episode. Thunder up.
Bro, you the man.
Hope you guys enjoyed that great episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at OklahomaHOF. Our other sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, amazing sponsor. They do amazing things for the state, and they're always sponsoring something in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my 2 pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my 2 golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. And adding to that is the Doghouse. And so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too, but I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC, and hopefully our pups will run into each other.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.